So is the immune system really thinking self versus non-self? So my point is that we have to change our way of understanding how the world works, how we work, what our essential needs are, and how we can best develop who we really are in the most effective and fruitful way. And this is the basic message of Kabbalah, of the Torah, that we have to get beyond the survival of the fittest way of thinking and think about how the way the cells in our bodies think and behave, and act in our lives in the same way, and to have this awareness that the cell has of every single other cell in the body. And ultimately, we need to develop that type of consciousness about the others outside of ourselves as well. And by doing so, then we create a healthy unity, a healthy total organism, which is pretty much what we are taught when we learn about, in Kabbalah, about Adam Kadmon, that the primordial man is the first world from which all the other worlds emanated. The world of Atzilus, the world of Yetzirah, the world of Bria, they all emerged from Adam Kadmon. Isn't that interesting?
It's a midrash.
Yeah, from primordial man. The message is that the greatest unity can be found in the human being as one human being with all of others. And that is our foundation. That's really who we are. And from there emerges all these other worlds. So really, ultimately, I'll tell you, even on a biological basis, that we're really all one organism. We cannot locate the boundaries of our own skin. We're always, in one way or another, fusing with others and with the environment. If you think about it, we don't even know who we really are. We don't even know our own bodies in any way at all. You know, we certainly don't understand where we begin and where we end. And the reason why we don't understand that is because we don't begin and end with our own skin. Really, we're part of one whole. We're part of one organism, which is Adam Kadmon, one wholeness. And that's our essential nature. You know, they did an interesting study where they took about, it was 10 people, and they took photographs of their own hands. And they asked the people to identify their own hands out of the 10. And all of them couldn't identify their own hands.
Nice.
So the point is, we don't know our own bodies. And we don't know our own bodies because it's not really our own bodies. Really, our true own bodies is this one collective whole. That's who we really know at the deepest level. And that's Adam Kadmon. That's our essential nature. And our essential nature is unification, is oneness, is one collective whole. And by the way, everything is found in man, in the human being. And the Ari says this, and Rav Ashlag reiterates this over and over again. All of the worlds and everything in existence is found within the human being, is found within the human mind. There is nothing outside of him, which is quite progressive. You see, this is another reason why we weren't able to really understand Kabbalah 200 years ago. See, now we know that there really isn't an objective outside world, independent world. And we know this through the study of modern physics, that we constantly create and recreate new worlds that are within us, not outside of us. How did scientists come to this realization? Because they found that whenever they did scientific experiments by trying to understand the momentum, the movement, or position of electrons, they would realize that it would always depend on the observer, on who's doing the experiment. The results, which the motion, the movement, or the position of the fundamental particles of existence meaning the foundation of our world, of our existence, is totally dependent on the person who's observing and observing that world. And this is exactly what Kabbalah has been teaching us. This is what the Ari said hundreds of years ago, that everything is found, all the world is found within the human mind, within the human psyche. There's nothing outside of him. And now we can understand that from modern science, is that the world is a very subjective place. There isn't an objective outside world. It's all contained within us. It's another way of saying that godliness and the Creator is within us. We're all part of a whole, including us and the Creator. The only thing that separates us from God Himself is our selfish desire to receive for ourselves. But once we learn to overcome that, then we and the Creator become one whole as well, and the Creator is completely found within us. And that's what we say at the end of Aleinu. In the future, Yeh Hashem Echad Ushmo Echad. God and His name is the human being, will become one. Will be bonded into a unity, into a wholeness, where there will be ultimately no separation between us and the Creator. And all of this work, all of the work of the Torah, L'Zachos Es Yisrael, is to become more like the Creator, is to refine ourselves in such a way that we become, there's a process of tziruf, of letzaref, to unify everything, to make everything into a wholeness, and so that we become givers like God Himself. And that's the purpose of the Torah, that we become like Hashem Himself. Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu l'zachos es Yisrael. So, how much time do we have?
It's 9:26. You have at least about 10-15 minutes. They're pushing it. But only if you go on...
so we have two options. Okay, so...
I want to hold all questions and comments after you finish, because I want you to keep going.
Okay.
That's if the room agrees with you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's read a little bit in here, and
I don't know.
And then maybe we'll. This is the introduction to the wisdom of Kabbalah by Rav Ashlag. And then there's a book called Matan Torah, which I actually want to do. This Rabbi Brandwein says is the sefer of the book of Mashiach, the book called The Gift of the Torah. And there's one article here about freedom that I wanted to read, and it touches upon actually what we said before about what is human freedom, and it's very much about cultivating our individual unique attributes, and the best way to do that is by putting ourselves in the best environment so that these properties can emerge within us. But we'll get to that in a second. Let me first read a little bit over here. So, Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu l'zachos es Yisrael, leficha chibur lahem Torah mitzvah shnei Hashem chafetz l'masikil yagdil Torah v'yad. Hashem wanted to refine us and to elevate our desires into a higher level. And then also Chazal, the sages say, Lo ninna mitzvos, the Torah was only given el tzaref behenes Yisrael, to unite all of Israel. V'yesh lahavin inyan hazuchos hazeh she'anu masigim ayidei Torah mitzvos. V'chein, habaya shebanu she'anu tzrichim l'zchus ayidei Torah mitzvos. V'kvad v'dibanu mizeh b'sifri, he explained this, and also in the Talmud Esesfirot, and now he's going to give a little bit of a review. The purpose of the creation was to give pleasure to the created world. And what God created was a desire to receive this pleasure. Ki haratzon lekabel, the desire to receive, hu akli al midas hisanug shebeshefa, is the vessel that receives this benefit. And it all depends. Kilafi midas godlo v'sukfo shel haratzon lekabel. It all depends on the power and on the greatness of the vessel and the desire to receive that light. That's the only thing that was created. And that's what we were saying before. And what determines how much you're going to receive is on the power of the vessel. Okay.
I'm sorry, can you say that again a little slower?
So that basically what he's saying is, this is kind of what we said before about a basic introduction to what this whole world is about what the creation is about, and that premise one is God created the world to give, to bestow His beneficence to the world, to give His kindness, His beneficence to all His creatures, but the only thing that He created in order to receive that was the vessel, the desire to receive His beneficence. See? And all that shefa is that energy that we receive, comes from the essence of the Creator Himself. May His name be blessed. Kloma shehu nimshach yesh meyesh. That everything comes yesh meyesh is one thing is one thing from another, as opposed to yesh me'ayin is ex nihilo. In other words, the only new thing that was created in this whole grand scenario out of nothing was just the desire to receive. Everything else, all of the worlds and everything contained in it, is just coming from this desire to receive, and which is quite amazing. It goes back to the understanding of physics, that the way modern physics understands the world, is that everyone's creating their own unique individual world, because every person is a ratzon lekabel, is a vessel to receive, and he or she, from that vessel, the desire to receive, then downloads all of God's shefa. All of and that's everything, including the world, the physical world, and all the higher spiritual worlds, all flow, like I said before, like the night follows the day, from God's essence, only because we have the desire to receive it. And in each person it's different. And it all depends on the power of the vessel and the desire of the vessel to receive it. The only thing new that was created, yesh me'ayin, is the desire to receive. Ki ba'atzmuso yisparach, because in the essence of God, vaday she'ein sham bechinas haratzon lekabel chas v'shalom. There's no desire to receive in God, so the only thing new that was created was the desire to receive. So that's what he says, that that who kol chomer shalabriya, all of the substance of the creation, meirosha, the ad sof, from the beginning to the end, is just a manifestation of the desire to receive.